love this short. I thought that from the very first shot where you see the light cupping the hand and you're not quite sure what you're looking at, it's such a great foreshadowing, such a great visual storytelling, and also just a really amazing, like really compelling shot. I think you can tell that this short is something special and it's been taking you somewhere different and special. And from the first time, the editing, the reversing, all of that was so clean and so well done. I think that very first time that the child reverses time and he snaps his fingers, and you see all the different reversals, some of them that are you're going to see again, some of them that you don't. Were so were so well done, and do a great job of setting up the premise, but also furthering it. And so, kind of watching through the structure of this child break the unbreakable or break things that he like break things and then unbreak them, destroy things and then undestroy them. You kind of feel what it's building up to. So I think the tension and the suspension of that tension throughout was really well done, was really masterfully done. And so once you see the child in the building, there's this stomach drop that I think was really well choreographed from the filmmakers, and you just know something's going to go wrong. And you're just not sure how or what. So when that phone call comes in, I think that anybody who's watching it, and myself included, is just really, really gut wrenched by that. But it's such an excellent way to conclude the short. And I think that in 5 minutes, there's an entire world that they build and create. And I think it was really successful and really well done.
This was really fascinating in the way that it asks, a question that I rarely see asked before, and that's how this like ancient magic, if we're to believe that it's real for a second here, how ancient magic would butt up against modern technology. And I thought that this was just a really fascinating and unexpected and just very cool meditation on that. I think that within the space of using literally one word of dialogue, you're telling a very complete and very comprehensible story. I didn't need to know what anything else meant. I just was able to understand exactly what was going on and exactly where we're going. And it ended up being just a really fantastic meditation on the idea that a bell cannot, be unrung once it's been rung.
I like that there was a little bit of dramatic irony in this with the, everyone who's watching, seeing this boy put his life in the hands of his phone. Everyone knows you can't rely on technology, especially your phone. So I, for one, knew exactly what was going to happen. Many a times, even making videos like this, I'll be interrupted by a notification or a phone call or something like that. And so just the dread of knowing what's to come, really great dramatic irony there. I like the message a lot. Death is irreversible. Take care of yourself. Don't take unnecessary risks. The screenwriter did a great job of getting us to understand what is happening without having any dialogue in this whatsoever. Well, except for the words that he says to trigger this magical event. But other than that, no explanation of the rules of the world or anything, but it's so easy to understand. And there's not even any kind of soundboard for this main character, and yet we know what's happening, we know what's going on in his head. So I thought the screenwriter and the director did a great job of getting us to understand and go along with the story with no dialogue.
A young boy finds a spell to make things that happen reverse themselves. I love the boy playing the lead. He was so endearing and fun to watch as he enjoyed experimenting. The special effect of reversing the action was perfect. I loved the music too, so fanciful and mystical as the action unfolded. Fabulous direction, and the writing of the story was brilliant. What a cool concept. Excellent camera work, especially the drone shots of the roads and drivers below. Meaningful message at the end.
Really hits you in the emotions and is thought-provoking, and it's done in a really cool way that it feels real in the way that folk tales and fairy tales with really strong hit you in the guts moral undertones can feel, but in a good way. Almost like a super short version of the Black Mirror episode. Definitely recommend it. And I think it was really, really well done, considering the scope of the settings and the acting, the progression of events in the piece, the use of technology, even the dialogue. All of that I thought was really great. Just a lot of really great elements together in a small package.
Really interesting. I liked that you kind of moved through the progress of him first discovering it and kind of seeing what it could do, and then like him messing around with it for a little bit, dropping different things, trying to test like if it would work every single time, or like if broken things would go back together, things like that. And then figuring out that he could record it and it would still work. I liked that you kind of moved through the progress of it. It didn't just jump. Never in my thought process or logic would I ever think to jump off of anything and then use the recording to bring me back. Though I suppose like flying, if that's really what you're about. But like I understand where the thought process came from. And I just think that the message at the end, the final message of like death is irreversible, was so poignant.